Hey guys, good morning. This is Christopher from Crooked Row, and we are getting ready to buckle down for fall planting. Just recently we released a video where we cleared out all the weeds from in front of our greenhouse. You can see back there behind me. And we got new flowers planted, a bunch of perennial flowers that my mom started earlier this year. So, continuing on that trend, today we are planting our boxes. And so in our boxes, this is where we keep most of our salad items. We have trellises in there, so we grow things like cucumbers and beans in there. We have carrots and beets, and we are getting ready for our fall planting of all those different crops. But it's really exciting because we really love to eat all of these different things, and my mom has a plan. But first, she needs me to come out here and get these boxes all cleared out and ready for us to plant. So, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so here are our beds. As you can see, they're a little bit overtaken by weeds. It's not too bad. We've got some in here. That one in back though is very, very weedy. That's gonna need cleared out for sure. But as you can see, we have stalks of fennel growing. This is really good. It tastes like licorice. We have our cucumbers, which are still up and producing, which is shocking. But they've given us a lot this year. You can see we have carrots growing in there. Over here we have this, whatever it is. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna completely weed these out and ready the ground for planting. So let's get started. Alright guys, so as you can see with this bed here behind me, I have it all cleared out except for the borage and the fennel. And so now it is just time to get planting. So as you can see, I have all my little packets laid out here. We have some slow bolt cilantro from Baker Creek, and then all the rest of this is from Berlin Seeds. We have some French breakfast radishes, some dark red Detroit beets, summer bib lettuce, Paris Island romaine lettuce, Rouge d'Hiver, I don't know how to pronounce that, but that is also romaine lettuce. And then this packet on the end, I don't think you can read it, but that is black seeded Simpson lettuce. So how we're gonna do this is I have these laid out in where I want the rows to be. So the cilantro and the French breakfast radishes are going to be going right next to each other, and they're going to operate as a dividing line between the beets and the lettuce. So with the beets, I know there's only one packet, but I'm actually going to mark out multiple rows, and you'll get to see me doing that as I get ready to plant here. As far as planting goes, these all are planted in a pretty similar way, and I'll show you how in just a second. So one thing that I just want to say before we get started on this is that something that is going to be particularly important, and especially when you are planting more than one variety of the same crop, is you want to mark out what row is which. So I have a little bit of a solution for that today, and what I'm going to be doing is I've got these popsicle sticks, and these are going to be our row markers. So I'm just going to write on, let's say, black Simpson, because I don't really have enough room for black seeded. and that is going to mark our black Simpson lettuce. For the beets, I'm just going to put in that they're beets because since they're all the same variety, we'll just remember what variety it is. But all of this is especially important because at different times, different crops are going to perform differently on different years, and so you want to remember what varieties you have so you can figure out what works best in my soil, what works best at what temperatures, yada yada yada, and really just find out what you like. So this is going to allow us to keep track of that and record all of it. Alright guys, so now it's time to get down to the nitty gritty. I said earlier that all of these are planted almost the same, and so here's basically what they have in common. Now you always want to read your packet because a lot of times it'll have planting instructions on there, but for especially when it's from Baker Creek. Baker Creek's really good about that. Berlin Seeds doesn't so much. But for all of these different crops, the seeds don't need to be planted very deep in the soil. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand and make a little bit of a groove. And this groove is going to go all the way down till the end. And because I'm showing you, I'm not going to do the rest out yet, but that is what I'm going to end up doing. So I'm just going to take my cilantro and get a few of the seeds out into my hand. See, there we go. And then you just barely sprinkle it all the way down. And that's what we're going to be doing with all of these crops today. So yeah, this really isn't hard at all. Now I'm going to go ahead and skip to a time lapse so I can hurry up and get this done. Alright guys, so I have finished planting this bed. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but one thing you're going to want to do when you plant is after you have your seeds in the grooves and you've covered them over, just give it not a hard pat, don't crush it or anything, but just a little pat all along to just make sure that they're nice and snug in the soil. And of course, the very last thing you want to do when you're planting is you want to water. So I've got my hose right here, and when you're first starting seeds, you need to absolutely soak the soil so that that water will remove the seed coating and it'll give the seeds a chance to germinate. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Alright guys, so here I am. I planted the first bed, you can see over there, and the far bed, you can see it right there. Those have our lettuce, radishes, cilantro, and beets. So finally, we only have the center bed left, right here. And so, this is where I'm going to be sticking our carrots. We're going to plant these the exact same way we did all the rest of the plants, but there is one specific trick that we have to use to grow carrots here, and you all might want to see this because for most people carrots are fairly easy to grow, but here on the farm we struggled for years not being able to grow carrots until we learned this trick. So stick around towards the end of the video if you want to see that. Alright guys, so I've got my carrot seeds planted, and as you can see I've already watered it in. And now it's time to tell you our trick that we use to try and get the carrot seeds to sprout. So as you can see, I've actually already started on it, but by laying these boards down, it is going to hold in the moisture until the seeds germinate, and then we can take them off and allow them to grow. So wherever you went and you put your rows of carrots, all I want you to do is lay boards down long ways on the road. And do this all the way up and all the way down. And leave these on there for about 3-4 days, and then take them off so that your carrots have room to grow. Alright guys, so there you have it. All of our beds are now planted, and it really didn't take that long. It only took about 4 hours-ish to get the whole thing done. I did have to split that up over several days because I have work and school and very little time in the morning to do it. But the fact is, I got it done. And even though I didn't have that much time at all. So now all of our fall salad crops are going to be there. They're going to be growing for us. And so it's really great, guys. So guys, I just want to thank you for watching our video. If you would leave a like and a subscribe, it will help boost our channel in the algorithm and allow us to keep producing this kind of content. I just want to thank you all for watching today. And remember, if me, a college kid that is juggling classes and work, can also get out here and get ready for fall planting, anybody can. Thanks. Bye.